Welcome back, everyone. Today is our Principal's Corner. Hopefully, we're a little bit more awake, being that the time did go back an hour. I'm feeling mighty awake. How are we feeling today, Jennifer?
I'm feeling really good.
Jennifer has joined us in replacement for Jerry today. She does have an important test, and I wish her the best of luck. Mr. Canfield, how are you?
I'm feeling 100%. It was nice to come to work today when it wasn't pitch black. And so it felt like a normal day. So, yes, hopefully all the students are awake and excited for the rest of the quarter. Second semester's coming up and right around the corner. So we're excited.
Well, you got my first question out of the way. How was your morning? But any plans for today? Any special plans?
Well, you know what? My wife's birthday is coming up on Friday. And so that's the plan for the week, is I'm going to have a nice surprise celebration for her birthday. She's going to be turning 41. We're going to go out to dinner, and so that'll be on Friday. The rest of the week, I do have a couple dinners lined up with other principals, current principals and former principals, so it'll be kind of a working dinner, but that's kind of how my week looks like.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I know you are Triple P, I believe it is.
It's called Triple P, yes.
How's that going for you?
Proud pioneer principal, Triple P. You know what? I enjoy and love this job. It's amazing. It's a lot of work. Trust me, it's a lot of work and new things that I'm finding out right now, right? You just know what you know, right? But when you're in the weeds now you figure out a lot of different things. But all in all, I enjoy every minute of it. I have a great team behind me. My leadership team is fantastic, and you need that support. We have amazing staff and teachers on campus. And so they are the ones that are in the grind. They are the ones that are on the front line every day doing the real work, right? We're more operational, instructional, and management. But when we have a great team of teachers and a phenomenal leadership team, it makes my life a little bit easier.
Perfect. Speaking of, any new goals? You know we got to ask every time.
Absolutely. So one of the goals, and it might run into one of the topics, but I look at the NSPF. It's the Nevada report card, and we look at areas where we can improve. And so two areas that I've identified is, one, the ACT. You know, what I want to encourage to the students out there and the listeners out there is that the ACT is a very important test to take. Even if you're not going to college, you might go in 2-3 years down the road. That test, though, is extremely important academically, but also for the school. So we're implementing a new program called ACT All-Stars Journey to 36. And 36 means that's the perfect score you can get on the ACT. So with Dr. Rico's help and Miss Cole's help, they're going to be doing tutor sessions once a week. Every week will be themed: math one week, English the next week, science the next week. If we got to double them up, that would be great as well. We want as much participation as possible for students to come out. We've invited all juniors to do it, as well as some seniors that want to retake the test. So it's really encouraging them how important and impactful this test is. Even if you're not going to go to college, that test is going to carry you throughout the years. So that's one of my big focuses and missions right now, is that the ACT is a priority for everybody on this campus. Another thing is our ELL learners, our English language learners. We're really focusing on with them. We have over about 600 students that are in that group, and we want to ensure that we impact them in a positive way and provide them as many resources as possible to grow our score and to also ensure that everybody's getting the services they need. So those are kind of two goals and missions that I have for this year.
Okay. Any questions for you?
No.
Fire at me.
You have it all down, yeah.
Are you sure? Okay. So you have described a new program that you're working on right now. How's the workload? It sounds like you have a lot on your plate.
Yeah, the workload is a lot more than it was before, but it's about management. Like, how am I managing my day? My days have changed a lot. So, for example, I usually get up about 4 o'clock every morning. Now I get up at 3 in the morning. I go through my emails. I do my normal routine in the morning, which is grab a coffee, stretch, watch the news, see what's going on. But I always look through my emails to see any pertinent information that's coming out that I want to address immediately with the school. If there's positives or anything else I want to do where I want to send it to the staff or individual teachers. And then you go through your workday. My workday consists a lot of meetings, discussions, conversations. I want to be a principal that the door's always wide open. Right. I want to be available for everybody. So during the school day, a lot of it is you're not grinding out a paper on something, right? For me, it is I'm talking to the kids, I'm talking to all the students, I'm talking to the teachers, right? That's the most important thing. Be visible, be available, and be ready to conversate with whatever concerns they might have or positive things they might have. Then when the school day ends, that's when my work begins, right? Now I'm sending out emails, I'm having other deeper conversations with individuals, whatever it might be. But that's the difference between being an assistant principal and a high school principal, is that, your work day at school when students are on campus, it's all about the students and the staff. Everything else is in the morning and after students leave with regards to the daily grind of answering questions, getting documents submitted when they need to get submitted, ensuring that CCSD has all their information they need. So that's what I'm finding a little bit different as a principal. But I love it. I love it a lot.
The point you brought up was actually pretty well. When it comes to teachers, students, and staff, most of the time the workday doesn't end when we're just off campus. Most of the time it stretches into our home, or maybe when we're, getting a 2 for $25 at Applebee's, right?
Right.
What are some ways, especially for our young students out there that probably struggle with this, what are some ways that you can find time for yourself, some personal time?
Yeah, that's a great question. I struggle with that as well, right? So I build in time. So I know like Saturday is I have 2 daughters. It's my daughters and wife time. I shut down the computer, I shut down the emails, and it's just their time, unless it's an emergency.
Right.
But I just carve out those times intentionally, right? So I know it sounds weird, but in my calendar, I'll block out my calendar from 8 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday. It's family time. That's it. I'm not answering anything unless I get a phone call, obviously. And so you give them at least a little bit of your time each week. With my family as well, personal time, it's in the mornings. My daughters wake up. I see them in the morning. I talk to them in the morning. I encourage them in the morning. My wife as well. And then when I get home, I kind of try to shut down and release when I get home. I get home, it depends, but about 5 or 6 at night, we have dinner together. So those times are very special for me, and it allows me the opportunity to really engage with my family, to be caught up with my family, and to ensure that they have my support. During the school day, it's all about work, right? And they know that too, so we don't text that often during work times unless there's an emergency, but it's all about work and the drive you have every day, waking up and doing your work. But you have to be intentional with your planning, and that's with everything. I think that's with life. Not to go completely far out, but I would say to all the students out there, you have to be intentional with everything you do. So for example, you want to go to college. Be intentional. Make sure you do what you got to do. Do the applications. Talk to the people you got to talk to. Have your mentor helping you. When you get out of college and you have your degree, hypothetically, make your connections. Reach out to those individuals. Everything has purpose. Nothing is ever handed to you, right? So I always tell everybody that I fall into is that everything has a purpose to it. Like, for example, when I had my kids, that we wanted to have kids. There was a plan. When I wanted to get married, I just didn't, get married one day. There was a plan in place, right? So everything has an agenda. Everything has a purpose to it. Nothing just happens. Sometimes it happens for happenstance, but in general, you need to be planned out and organized and caught up with everything that you're doing to ensure that you want those goals to be met, whatever those goals might be, family, personal, or professional. So goal planning is very important.
I like to extend that question to you. Actually, we have our Triple P's opinion on how he creates personal time to yourself. What about a student's point of view?
Like creating time for myself.
Creating time for yourself, yes.
I often find that quite hard too, because I feel like as someone who's like in student council and like actively in sports and stuff, it's kind of hard for me to like find time to balance, especially with like it being college season. So like applications are due, FAFSA, making CSN profiles. It's like a lot, and I feel like sometimes it's hard to find a group to support you. And it's like, yeah, we have our counselors to reach out to, but it's like it's so hard to like balance having like sports and then like student council, because it's like I don't know what to prioritize first, and it's like sometimes I feel like I'm not very home often, so it kind of does get hard to like do that goal setting, as you say. But I do think it's like taking a step back and realizing what you need to prioritize and like what comes first, and like you said, making it known like what you want it to, like what your goal is and how you want to get there.
Absolutely.
Tell you what, it's hard now, so it can be easy later. You know, eventually you're going to go to college, get your degree, and then you're going to sit at home and be like, wow, I didn't have to stay up and do a project last minute.
Yeah.
I think that making personal time for yourself is a balance. And I feel like everyone has to find that within themselves. Sometimes it takes different tactics. Sometimes it takes therapy. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I actually encourage going to therapy, even if there's nothing, quote unquote, wrong with you. Mm-hmm. Therapy is just for you. But I would say finding yourself is a balance. And I think that we all are able to achieve it. So I would suggest no one give up on themselves. Definitely just try and find your inner balance, because it's hard now, so it can be easy later.
But I love that point. You got to be intentional. Right. Like, things just don't happen because it happens unless you sit back and you hope something happens. Be intentional. Be purposeful. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to see myself, and make that plan. There's going to be adjustments in the plan. There's going to be pitfalls in the plan. Things aren't going to be perfect, but take that initiative and be intentional about every decision that you want to make, small or large.